Hey friends, this is Danica. Thanks for joining me for our slow down session today. It's going to be nice and juicy. This is my good friend Stephanie. She's here. She's going to help demonstrate some poses for you as I move around and kind of also hang out and do the poses as well. So we'll get started. Come to a comfortable seat. So we're going to face towards the front of the mat. That can be legs crossed. You can sit up on a block. And then let the hands come to the tops of the thighs and let your eyes fall closed. Start to take a couple breaths here. Today's practice is really just slowing down, really allowing ourselves to sit in the poses. Great for the morning to get started or in the evening to wind down the day. Take a breath in through your nose. Let your belly fill with air, shoulders soften. And then exhale, let it go. Really allow the sit bones to root into the earth. And just start to check in the body. Notice where you're holding tension. Sometimes that's just in the jaw. Maybe a little smile. 3 more breaths here. Notice as you inhale, you expand and start to make a little bit more space, moving into those joints where energy gets a little stagnant. And then the exhales are to soften, to surrender, to move past that space. Last 2 here. Last inhale, let the crown of your head reach towards the sky, grow a little bit taller. And exhale, let it go. Begin to take your right ear directly over to the right shoulder. So not so much leaning head back or letting the forehead fall forwards. Right over to the side. Starting to extend through the left side of the neck. You can always extend the left hand towards the earth, fingertips tense. That left shoulder stays heavy though, as you find a little bit more space. Take a breath here. And then return your hand back to your lap. Start to let that chin fall towards your chest. And just gently hanging out here in this space, letting the head rock, kind of like little crescent shapes back and forth. Noticing how that one side feels a little bit different than the other. And then as you're ready, move your left ear towards your left shoulder. Find where it's directly centered. So your chin is facing straight forward, pointing straight forward. And your ear is leaning over towards the shoulder. You can always extend the right arm out towards your side, fingertips tense, shoulder drops a little heavier. Breathe in. And out. Bring your hand back towards center. This time you're going to let the back of the head, crown of the head fall towards the back of the room, towards the earth. Chin and throat start to open up. Shoulders soften down the spine. Find that compression in the neck here. So right along from the base of the head, all the way down into between the shoulder blades. One more inhale. And exhale. Breathe in, slowly rise up. As you take your inhale here, lift the arms up overhead, fingertips straight up, pinkies towards one another. And then exhale over to the right. Right hand comes down, maybe forearm touches the earth, but left hip stays heavy. Inhale, lift back up to center. Take it to the other side. Left hand down, right hand up and overhead. Nice side body stretches. Moving back and forth about 2 or 3 times. Hips stay heavy and rooted in the ground, and your breath stays even. Nice. Take your last movement to each side. And then once you land back on the right, find a nice hold here. Left arm up and overhead, palm faces the earth, but shoulder is soft and away from ear. Sink back into your left hip bone. Take a breath in and out. Inhale to lift up through center, and then take it over to the left side. Holding here, right palm faces down, right shoulder away from the ear. One more inhale. And exhale. Breathe in, slowly rise up, lift your arms up, then bring them back behind you. Fingertips are gonna face towards the hips. Plant the feet into the earth, knees are up towards the sky. So walk the feet back, so they're pretty close to the hips here. Then palms press into the earth. Start to lift through the chest as you straighten your arms, drawing the shoulder blades together, lifting through the heart. And then crown can either fall towards the back of the room or maybe you open up all the way. Really just finding any space here that you can really lift through the heart. Find that nice chest expansion. 2 more breaths. Soften the elbows if they tend to lock out here. Press your palms a little heavier. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Breathe in, slowly rise up. Keep the feet and legs as they are. Just simply reach your arms forward, round the spine, palms together, thumbs up. 1 inhale here, just to counteract that, opening that space between the shoulder blades. And then bring it back. Let the feet and knees fall back out to the sides. Soles of the feet together, knees fall wide. So coming into butterfly pose, lift up through the heart. So pull the hip points forward a little bit, gaze forward, and then start to hinge from the hips, keeping that length in the spine. Yeah, and then once you notice as far as you can go, you'll feel that like nice tension, that nice stretch. Just gently let the chin tuck, finding a little flexion in the neck. So not rounding through the thoracic spine, keeping a nice length of the spine and letting the sensation move in the legs and stay in the hips. 2 more breaths to stay. Notice the longer you stay, the more you start to sink to the earth. Allowing the mind to say that everything is okay here and to release a little bit deeper. On your next inhale, slowly rise back up. Nice shoulder stretch coming. So reach your arms forward and then cross your right forearm on top of your left and then flip your palms so you can interlace your fingers. Press your fist towards or away from you towards the front of the mat as you round the spine, separating the shoulder blades and then letting your chin fall towards your chest. You should feel some nice sensation between the shoulder blades, maybe in the forearms and even the wrists. 1 more breath on this side. And slowly release and switch it out. Taking left on top of the right, interlace the fingers, and start to reach your fist forward. Tuck the chin, round the spine. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears. Separate. 1 more breath in. Breath out. Slowly unwind, wiggle the fingers, roll the shoulders. Should feel pretty good now. We're gonna find our way to child's pose. Big toes will touch. Knees are gonna come towards the edges of the mat. The closer the knees are, the less sensation you'll feel on the low spine. You can always let your chest just rest there on top of the thighs if that feels better. But arms reach towards the front of the mat, and then your forehead connects to the earth. Couple breaths to just stay here to roots. Maybe roll the forehead side to side. Spread the fingers wide. Hips press back as the palms press into the earth. 1 more inhale. And exhale. Keep the forearms rooted. Slowly start to rise up onto the knees. Draw the knees in so they're right underneath the hips. Knees should stay over, or hips should stay over knees, and then walk your hands forward, finding puppy pose. So pretty big shoulder opener, hip or heart opener here. So chest melts towards the earth. I like forehead on the earth, and you can try chin, whichever feels better. But hips and knees stay in this nice line. Fingers spread wide. 2 more breaths here. Notice what you can soften. Maybe the shoulders or the jaw. Last inhale. Great job. And then bring forearms staying down. Bring your chest and belly all the way to the earth as you slither forward. Hips meet the mat. And then take your arms forward for Sphinx pose. You want elbows just underneath the shoulders. So that's usually a little bit more in and a little bit more forward than you think. Bring the feet a little bit closer, tops of the feet together, maybe about hip distance apart. Look forward and then draw the elbows back towards the heels as you lift through the heart. Keep the gaze forward, chin nice and parallel to the earth. pressing through the tops of the feet. So you should feel full backside body engagement here, all the way, shoulders as they pull away from the ears. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. Plant your palms on top of each other, forehead connects, and then just let the heels fall side to side. Not here long, just a little bit of rest. And then extend the legs back long. Plant the forearms once again so that you rise up. Left forearm comes towards the center of the mat, so you're kind of at an angle, a little bit more forward. Bend the right knee, take your right hand up, reach back for the right foot. You're gonna take the big toe side with your thumb facing up so that your shoulder stays nice and open. That's great. And then slowly begin to take your gaze forward, noticing at some point where the shoulder starts to kick on, and then hang out there as you kick into your hand. Nice quad stretch, shoulder stretch, feels pretty good. One more inhale. And being mindful as you gently release the right foot, come back towards center, slowly lower down. If you'd like to let the heels fall side to side to reset, feel free. And then we'll move to the other side. Extend the legs long, rise back up. This time right hand towards the center of the mat. Bend the left knee, take a hold of that left foot, big toe side, thumb face up. Keep pressing into that right hand, so you're not dumping into the right shoulder here. You're staying really active in that right arm, and then kicking through the left leg, the left foot, starting to take the gaze back forward. Remember to breathe. Last inhale. And exhale. Slowly releasing your foot. Come back towards center. Any little last reset you'd like, maybe palms down by the sides or even arms straight up overhead. Whatever feels nice to you. Take a couple breaths. If you were to ask me what my favorite yoga pose is, it would be this one. Nice and easy and relaxing. One more inhale and exhale. Begin to walk your palms so that they're back underneath your shoulders once again. Press your palms into the earth. Start to lift yourself up through extended tabletop, and then start to sit back onto your heels. And once you get there, swing your legs around in front of you so that your legs are long. So feet are gonna stay about hip distance apart here. Toes face up towards the sky as you flex the toes back towards your face. Breathe in to lift the arms up. And starting to hinge from the hips, noticing how the legs are starting to feel that sensation. Arms are just gonna land wherever feels best, or hands more so. Whether that's on the shin, could just be the thighs, maybe the earth. It's as if you're pulling your heart forward, keeping that length in the spine. You can stay gazing forward, or if you gently wanna just drop the chin, always an option. Keep flexing the toes. Keep the toes pointed up towards the sky so you're not chinsing out by letting the feet roll out or in. Keeping that nice sensation. We tend to hold a lot of stress in the back side of the legs, so should be pretty intense at the moment. 2 more breaths here. Notice how you can flow with the breath. Inhale is to come out. Exhale is to fold a little bit deeper. 1 more breath in. And out. Great job. As you rise back up, start to draw in your right knee towards your chest. You can stay just like this if you'd like, if that's enough sensation on the outer hip there, or step your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Breathe in to lift your arms up overhead, come up onto the sit bone so you have a nice tall spine, and then exhale, take left hand to wrap around the right leg, and then right hand is your kickstand on the earth behind you. Check in with your left foot, what's it doing? See if you can flex those left toes. Stay active in the whole lower body. And then gaze is up and over your right shoulder. So nice tall spine, and then you twist a little bit deeper. 1 more breath in. And out. Nice, inhale, come back through center. Lift the arms up. And exhale, take it to the other side, just countering the twist. Left hand back, right hand by your right foot. And go ahead and come back to center. Extend the right leg long, shake whatever you need out, and we'll switch it to the other side. Left knee starts to come in towards your glute. You can stay or switch it over to the outside of the right hip. Breathe in to lift and lengthen, find space in the spine, and then take it to the left. Right hand wraps around your left leg or comes all the way to the outside if you'd like. Left hand is your kickstand as you press into the left arm, lift through the chest. And then take your gaze over your left shoulder. 2 full breaths here. Great job. Inhale as you slowly unwind, come back through center. I'm gonna scoot up. We're gonna take wide leg forward fold here. So extend the legs out into a V. Toes will stay up. Once you start to feel the resistance in the legs, pause there. Just come up onto the sit bones, lift through the heart. So notice if you kind of got a little bit of sway in the back, hug the low belly in so hip points go up towards the ribs. Take a breath in, maybe arms come overhead. And then hinging from the hips, noticing at what point the resistance stops you. Plant your palms on the earth and stay here. Again, toes stay facing straight up. Pressing through the heels, staying active in the legs. Notice if you've locked out the knee joints, soften that space just a little bit. I always do it. One more big breath to stay. And an exhale to go just a little bit deeper. Find your deepest and stay there for 2 more breaths. Last inhale and exhale. Great. Gently press the earth away, rise back up. You can use your hands to help bend the knees, draw the legs back to center. Scoot down so you're about halfway down the mat. Plant your feet and just start to gently lay all the way onto your back. Setting up for bridge pose. So feet make the number 11 right in line with the hips. And then reach down with your hands. You should barely feel the backside of your heels. That's a good measurement. It's not always perfect, but it's good enough that ankles are below the knees. You can always take a peek if you'd like. Roll the shoulder blades underneath you here. Palms should face up towards the sky, out by the sides. Press to your feet and then lift your hips up. Rolling hips and then mid-back and maybe up onto the top part of the shoulder blade. You're keeping space between the chin and the chest here. So lengthening the crown towards the back of your mat, keeping space in the throat. Couple breaths to stay. Soften through the glutes just a little bit. Use the thighs a little more. You'll always use your glutes. Press your feet. Notice if you're rolling to the pinky toes. Inner arches seal. 3 more breaths here. Last big inhale, fill up, lift the hips a little bit higher. And then as you exhale, shoulders meet the earth, then your mid-back, then your hips. Knock your knees together and walk your feet wide. Hands can come to the hips or stay out by the side, whichever feels good. And then drop the right knee towards the center of the mat. You're gonna come onto the big toe side of your right foot. Yeah, so it's kind of like this nice quad stretch. It's as if you're kicking your right leg towards the front of your mat. So you should feel the nice stretch through your quads, up through the hip flexor maybe even a little bit deeper. Take another breath on this side. And bring it through center, switch it out. Left knee drops, right knee opens up. Press that left knee away. Stretch through the front side of your left hip and leg. And then bring the knees back up towards the sky. Walk the feet towards one another. Finding figure 4, right ankle will come to the top of the left thigh here, just above the knee, but what looks like below it here. And then right hand can go through the 4 to take a hold of the left hand on the back side of the left thigh. If that it causes you to lift up the shoulders, ground the shoulders, and then just gently bring the right hand to your right knee and left hand to either the left ankle or left thigh. Shoulders stay rooted, and then the more you press the right knee away and the more you pull the left knee closer, the more sensation you'll feel. Flex your toes. Couple more breaths here. Great. Slowly unwind that side. Right knee meets the left. Hug it into the chest and then switch it out. Left ankle top of right thigh. Figure 4, other side. Again, any arm variation you like, either left hand on left knee or interlacing fingers behind the thigh. Remember to breathe even here in this space. Working with your breath, sending it to the areas that you're noticing the tension and the sensation arise. Last inhale. And exhale to unwind. Find happy baby. So take the knees wide. Turn the soles of the feet up towards the sky. And then hands can either go to shins, maybe to tops of feet. My current favorite is index and middle finger around the big toe. And you can roll side to side or straighten one leg. Find any organic movement that feels good. Just a couple breaths here to play around. If you've met a baby, you know they don't like to stay still. So feel free to move, stretching the one leg. And we'll meet back in center, draw the knees into the chest. Right knee will stay close as the left leg falls long onto your mat. Take the right knee wide first. I like to bring left hand to left hip to remind it to stay grounded so that as you take the right hip wide, you find the compression in the right hip, right side body, and left hip stays rooted. And then take it over the body to the left side of the room for your twist. Left hip lifts up so it comes right underneath the right. And then maybe right toes touch the earth or a block under those right toes. Tee out the arms and take your gaze over your right shoulder. Feeling that nice twist, releasing any last little bit of tension, still being held in the spine and the hips. Three last breaths here. Nice. Slowly start to come back through center. Draw your left knee to meet your right. Moving towards the other side. Right knee and leg fall long. Left knee moves to the outside of the ribs. Take that left knee up towards the armpit. Find that compression. Right hip roots. One big breath in. And exhale to release all the way over to the right side. Hug that right hip so it moves up underneath the left. Left foot on the ground, then left arm out to the side, gaze left. Shoulders stay grounded into the mat. Few breaths to stay here. One more inhale on this side. And gently making your way back through center. Right knee meets the left. Draw the forearms around the shins. Take one big breath in here. Open mouth, sigh. As you take your next inhale, draw your forehead up to your knees. Make yourself into a tiny little ball. Thank yourself and your body for all the work you've done. And then let it go to final resting pose, Shavasana. Arms and legs fall long. Let your eyes fall heavy or closed. Relax through the jaw. And begin to surrender into your mat as it rises up to support you. And you are welcome to stay here for as long as you would like to soak in the benefits of this practice. And if you're ready to move on about your day, take a breath in through your nose. And without any real effort, let it move out through your mouth. Begin to find a little movement in your fingers. And then your toes. And then let one ear fall towards the earth. And then the other. On your next breath in, take your arms up over your head. Point your toes. Find yourself in a full body stretch. Coming back into your space. Acknowledging the stillness you've created. And drawing one knee in towards your chest at a time. And rolling over onto your left side here. Using your bicep as a pillow to transition. Thanking yourself for carving some time out of your day to take care of yourselves so that you may have a little bit more to give. Gently pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Whatever that means for you, maybe cross the legs. Drawing your thumbs together to meet in front of your heart, palms pressed together. Take one last big breath in together. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Stephanie, for being here. It's always an honor to share this space and practice with you. Bowing forward, honoring each and every one's light. Namaste. Nice job.